What's good, YouTube? It's your boy K-Flex. I'm back here with another video, and today we're going to get into who the Miami Dolphins should draft. In the 2021 draft, I was supposed to make this video a while ago, but I'm making it now. Real quick, shout out to people who like this video before they heard the sentence. Then let's get into it. I got a couple things to address before I talk about who the Dolphins should draft. We're still less than 100 away from 10K. Make sure you hit the sub if you haven't already. Going to be making a lot of content coming up over the next few months, over the off season, and even into next season. So make sure you hit the like if you already have it, and make sure you sub as well if you like the content. Now, I got a couple things to talk about before I get into who we should draft. First and foremost, I'm gonna put my pool on the screen. This is my players who basically we need to get one of these people at 3. I'm only talking about our pick at 3. Okay, the pick at 18 or 16, that's just too much to think about because I don't know who everybody else wants. But the pick at 3, okay, and my pool is gonna be on the screen. These are the players that I see us getting. We're gonna get one of these players, okay. So, before I get into that, I have to address something because I've been seeing a few comments of a lot of people comment and they say, Flex, remember you wanted Dwayne Haskins back in the day? You remember on that draft stream? A lot of people like to bring that up for whatever reason. I tried to erase it from my memory, but they always bring up, remember you wanted Dwayne Haskins? You remember that, Flex? Huh? And I'll just be like, yeah, I remember, okay? That was a long time ago. And let me just explain myself on that. Listen, Dwayne Haskins, he ends up being a bust. It is what it is. The Redskins ruin quarterbacks. Let's just tell the truth. Even if they didn't know, I think he pretty much ruined himself. But here's the thing. I really didn't love Dwayne. I wasn't in love with Dwayne Haskins. If y'all remember, I really wanted Montez Sweat in that draft or something like that. But Montez Sweat, he had the heart thing. So then at that point, I really didn't want him anymore. But with the thing with Haskins was, listen, guys, we had just came off a season. Tannehill was gone. We had Ryan Fitzpatrick, which at the time was terrible. What I thought was super terrible. He's still not that good, but I thought he was super duper terrible at the time because he's Ryan Fitztragic. I just knew we wasn't going to win a Super Bowl with Ryan Fitzmagic. The same stuff I say now is the same stuff I was saying back then, thinking Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's not going to win a Super Bowl. He's not safe enough. He's not good enough. He's not consistent enough. It's been 16 years. He hasn't won a playoff game. I don't want him as our only quarterback on the roster. That's why at that point I was so desperate for a quarterback after watching Jay Cutler, after watching Matt Moore, after watching Brock Osweiler. I was so desperate for a quarterback at the time that when it was our pick, I said, F it, draft Dwayne Haskins. I was happy. I wanted Dwayne Haskins so bad because, listen, I just didn't want a season with only Fitzpatrick. He wasn't going to be our future. With only Fitzpatrick as our quarterback, it sounded terrible. I said, just give me something to hope for. That's why I wanted Dwayne Haskins. However, we got Josh Rosen in that same draft. And had I known we would have got Josh Rosen, I would have never reacted the way I did when we drafted Christian Wilkins over Dwayne Haskins. So I had to explain that situation because I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, you want Dwayne Haskins, explain yourself. And I hate it when people are wrong and they don't want to admit they're wrong. So if I'm wrong on something, I'll admit it. I want Dwayne Haskins, he sucks. Okay, that's fine. That's on me, okay? But I just wanted to explain to y'all why I wanted Dwayne Haskins. It wasn't because I was just in love with him pre-draft. It was just that, I needed some hope for the future, okay? And as you can see how happy I got when we got Josh Rosen, even though I knew I wasn't that happy about him, but it was just at least we had hope for the future. And that's all I really wanted. And Christian Wilkins ended up being the right pick in that situation. So I am happy that we got Christian Wilkins. And it wasn't like it was a whole bunch of just all-stars in that draft, to be honest with you. If you guys look at who got drafted after Christian Wilkins, even before, I mean, it's not like that draft wasn't that strong to me looking back at it. So I had to explain that really quickly. I've only been wrong a couple times, though. I've been right a lot more than I've been wrong. Y'all guys remember I wanted Roquan Smith? He's a GOAT. Y'all remember I wanted Lamar Jackson? He's a GOAT. Y'all remember I wanted, you know what I'm saying? I'll be wrong sometimes. I wanted Mike Gesicki? He's a GOAT. I wanted Kyler Murray? He's a GOAT. I wanted, who else did I want, man? I wanted a lot of people over these years of Madden, over these years of YouTube and streaming, and most of them may be W's, okay? I did take an L on wanting Dwayne Haskins, though. But most of the people I wanted is good. And I ain't gonna lie, before I started streaming, that was the draft when Reuben Foster came out. I wanted Reuben Foster so bad, and we didn't draft him, and I was mad. And so that would have been another L because Reuben Foster ended up being a bust too. So most time I'm right, okay? But I am wrong, and I can acknowledge when I was wrong. Dwayne Haskins, he's just awful, okay? Now, to get into why we're here today is to see who I want us to draft. Now I'm gonna let you know right now. The guy on the screen right now, I don't want us to draft. Okay, the Rashawn Slater, I don't want us to draft him. So how I'm basing this, guys, is I understand something. I don't pretend to act like I know who's going to be a bust and who's not, because I simply don't. And if I did, I wouldn't be on YouTube right now. I'll be GM somewhere. Okay, even the people that get paid millions of dollars to kind of decipher this don't know. It's just impossible to guess if a guy's going to be a bust or not. I mean, you can make assumptions. That's fine. Nothing. You can have your opinion. Anybody can say, "Oh, I think this guy's going to be terrible. I think this guy," but you just never know. When Josh Allen came out, he was probably the most unsafe quarterback in the whole class. Even he came out with Lamar. And Lamar was probably unsafe. You got to think those were like probably the two. Wait, didn't Josh Allen come out with Lamar? I'm pretty sure he did. If he didn't, just excuse what I'm saying. But either way, both of those quarterbacks, there was so many questions about them. But then you got the Bakers of the world, the Baker Mayfields, who were supposed to be the best quarterbacks in that class, and that just didn't happen. And by the way, I did want Baker as well. Back when Baker was in draft. Yeah, I did want Baker. But I'm just saying, I wanted Lamar too, and I want so the point of me just saying all this stuff is this. You don't know who is going to be that guy. I promise you, and they can lie if they want to now. Dolphin fans, we can lie now. I promise you. 90% of Dolphin fans on my YouTube channel, and I can only speak from my experience or what I've seen when I asked y'all who to draft, nobody wanted Josh Allen. Bruh. Nobody wanted Josh Allen. Nobody wanted Justin Herbert. You know who Dolphin fans wanted at the time? Drew Lock. Okay, bruh. So listen, I'm saying this to say, listen, we don't know who's going to end up being the best. Sometimes it be the guy you never expect, and that's why it's the draft, and that's why it's bust. Okay? So when I'm basing these guys off, is simply who I think is going to be the best, who I think is going to be the most valuable, and also who plays the most valuable positions and things like that. That's how I pretty much am ranking them off of who I think will fit the team the best, who I see the highest ceiling, because that's what I'm a high ceiling kind of guy, and also has a pretty good floor. And that's how I'm pretty much basing it. So let's just get through the pool right now and start Xing out people. And so you guys can get an idea of who I want to draft, okay? So, number one, let's just talk about the quarterbacks. Trevor Lawrence, we have no chance. Zach Wilson is a one-year wonder. But he could be good. Not saying that he's not good. He's a one-year wonder. And then Justin Fields is really good too. So these are the quarterbacks where I'm looking at and I'm saying, should we go after one of these with that 3 pick? Now, I would say no for the simple fact that I don't think any of them are as good as a prospect as Tua ever was, and I haven't given up hope on Tua. So it's kind of like a thing where if you're saying we need to draft a quarterback at number 3, you have completely given up all hope on Tua, which is fine. It's your prerogative, I guess. I don't know. I would disagree with you. But for you to even think we should draft a quarterback at number 3, you'd have to give up all hope on Tua. Now, with that being said, we definitely should look at the quarterbacks at number 3. Again, I think it would be irresponsible not to, okay? And whether it's us calling in Tua and saying, hey, listen, you're going to be the quarterback. We're going to throw these smoke screens. We're going to interview quarterbacks. We need to at least, even if we're not interested in the quarterback, first of all, we should look at him. And second of all, we should make other teams at least think we want a quarterback. Because then if at that point, our pick means even more. Right? Because if people know we don't want a quarterback, and let's say a quarterback-hungry team is in the back of us, they're not going to want to, trade up with us. If they think we're might draft the quarterback they want, then they might, you know what I'm saying? It's in our best interest to at least have a chance of getting a quarterback. Like, at least make people think we're getting one, okay? But we shouldn't, okay? Because, like I said, I still trust in Tua. And if you draft a quarterback here, like people seeing what happened with the Cardinals, and they think that that's something that people do. That was like an anomaly. Okay, nobody's just going to draft quarterbacks 2 years in a row in the first round like that. Okay, that doesn't happen often. So, I personally believe in Tua enough to say if you're gonna do it, because if you do that, let's say Tua is the guy, because nobody can say Tua's not the guy. And you can't really argue that he is because we haven't seen enough, in my opinion. But nobody can argue that he's not or is the guy. But let's say he is who we think he is or who we hope he is, then you pretty much just wasted a pick on another quarterback because you didn't trust the one that you had, and now you just passed up on potentially a wide receiver or potentially an offensive or potentially another position that you could have used. Okay? And so then you got to try to trade one of them away and all that bullshit. Whatever. Okay? Bottom line is quarterback is pretty much exit out for me, but I do want us to actually like make people think we should get one, but we really shouldn't get a quarterback. Okay, Tua has to be that guy. Okay, he's top 5 pick for a reason. Okay, so that's gonna take out all the quarterbacks. Trevor Lawrence takes himself out because we have no chance of getting him. He's gonna be the number 1 draft pick. So now you get into wide receivers, and this is where it gets tricky because a lot of people think we should draft Devontae Smith, Heisman winner, or they think we should draft Chase. Here, these are only 2 receivers really. And guys, I'm just not a fan of drafting receivers at number 3. This would be a totally different situation if we had like the 7th pick, the 6th pick, even the 8th pick. I mean, even maybe the 4th, but probably not the 4th. But either way, like, bro, I'm not a fan. I just don't think receivers, first of all, receivers are not like, your cornerstone pieces of your offense is going to be your tackle, your quarterback, your pass rusher, and then your cornerback. In my opinion, that's going to be your cornerstones. A receiver is not really just. I'm like, it's valuable. We've seen that this year when we didn't have good receivers, but I feel like there's a lot more good receivers than there are good tackles. And that's why I say we need to use our pick on Penei Sewell. That's who we need to use our pick on. Okay. If he's available. Now I get to if he's not available in a second, but let me get into why I think we should draft him if he is available right now. So if he is available, we should draft him because he allowed 1 sack in 1,300 career college snaps. You know what I'm saying? He's a really good tackle. He's one of the best tackle prospects that we've seen in a very long time, even better than Larry Tunsil. He's one of the best tackles prospects we've seen in a very long time. He could be a cornerstone of our team. And like I said, I've been seeing our offensive lineman get this hyped up since Quentin Nelson, and I would say Quentin Nelson lived up to the expectations. He's an All-Pro first teamer this year, and he's made the Pro Bowl multiple years. And I think he damn near. He probably made it every year he's been in the league. I think Quentin Nelson has been a Pro Bowl every year. So like he lived up to the hype. And then before then, I'm hearing that he's the best lineman prospect since Trent Williams, and even Trent Williams maybe not lived up to expectations, but Trent Williams is a very great tackle and was graded at the highest tackle this year in his 10th year. If this guy's even Trent Williams level, I would take him over any receiver. When I look at Sewell and I hear the people talk about him and I watch his film and I watch his highlights, I see like his floor, it just doesn't seem like he has a ceiling to be one of the best left tackles of all time, okay? And then he has a floor to still be very, very good. Like, I see his floor as being like a Pro Bowler. Like, even if he's not an All-Pro, even if he's not a Hall of Famer, he's going to be a Pro Bowler. He's too good. Like, I feel like he has a very high floor and a very high ceiling, which makes him a pretty safe pick. And he's at a crucial position that any team could need. And so I don't see how we don't draft him over any receiver. And I know Devontae Smith won Heisman, but first of all, Devontae Smith is 6'1" and 170 pounds. Listen, I don't lie, size a lot of times don't matter. I like Kyler Murray, he was small and everything, but you're not going to I'm just, something in my spirit does not sit right with drafting a 6'1", 175 pound receiver with a top 3 pick. It just don't sit right. Like I said, if it was a 6th pick, it's a whole different subject. If Sewell gets taken and we're able to trade back and draft Devontae or Chase, that would be ideal. If he gets picked, and let's say Atlanta wants their quarterback and they think we might draft one and Atlanta like trades up with us, then let's get a receiver, yes. But with this 3rd pick, if he is on the board, I feel like you have to draft him. Now let's say we can't trade back even and Sewell gets taken, then yeah, let's get one of the receivers. But I think our first option should be Sewell. And as far as the quarterbacks, they're not even on my radar. So to pretty much wrap it up, it's Sewell. If we can't get him, trade back. If we can't trade back, then draft one of the receivers at number 3 and we'll just take it. And honestly, I prefer Chase. I know Devontae won the Heisman, but I'm a little more fond of Chase. And also, even though he didn't play last year, before then, him and Joe Burrow made magic, so I'm a little bit more fond of him. But I'll take both of them. Don't get it twisted. But I hate Devontae Smith's size. I ain't gonna lie, he's so small. Like I don't know. Like I look at he's 6'1". He's not a bad height, but he's like skinny. Like he's like 175 pounds. Like he probably gonna be a beast just because I'm doubting him. He's going to be the next monster. But like I said, the only way I would actually draft a wide receiver over an offensive tackle that many are saying is a generational tackle is if that wide receiver was literally Calvin Johnson, Julio Jones built, or even like Mike Evans built. But these 6'1", 175-pound receiver over a offensive tackle that allowed what single-digit sacks, single-digit press. Like I don't see how realistically I can justify that. Okay, especially when you're going to find a good receiver way more often than you're going to find a good tackle in the damn NFL. That's a fact. Okay, you look at free agency coming up right now. How many good tackles are coming in free agency? I can name you multiple good wide receivers that are coming up in free agency. So, like I said, take what you will with that information. Get in comments and know what you guys think. Who you guys want us to draft? Is it the receiver? Is it the offensive tackle? I think it's in between one of those two. It's between one of the two for me. Or are y'all looking at even Parsons, the linebacker? Are y'all looking at? I'm just not with the defense off the fact that our defense was already so good. I mean, we can add him and he's going to even make our defense even better, but what does that matter if our offense still sucks? We need to go straight offense. I'm serious. Our offense, I'm sick of it. We need to get talent on our offense. Okay? But other than that, yeah, get in the comments and let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe to 10K on Facebook. Okay, flexing, I'm out.